Hello and welcome. You're watching the Sunday edition of Burning Question with me, Shavad Sen. Ladies and gentlemen, the condition in Bangladesh still remains extremely grim. A condition that Muhammad Yunus's government refuses to acknowledge. So much so, they say that only a handful of attacks have taken place, and these are not religious attacks that have taken place, but these are political attacks that have taken place so far. Whatever may be the reason, ladies and gentlemen, the reality is this: that today Bangladesh has perhaps gone into the dark ages of what we saw in the past. The fact of the matter is this, ladies and gentlemen, that Hindus are not safe in Bangladesh. And if you're asking why, the reality is this: that when Hindu girls are going to schools, they are being accosted by radicals. When monks are out on the streets talking about the plight of Hindus, they are brutally attacked. And then you have the Yunus's government essentially saying that Hafazat-e-Islam is not a fundamentalist organization, but a cherished Hindu organization spread across 150 countries providing COVID relief, is a fundamentalist organization. That's the position of the Yunus government, and that's where the problem essentially lies. Tonight at 9:40, we're going to play out the first big interview of the chief advisor to Muhammad Yunus's government, perhaps the first interview to any Indian television network, and listen in to what Shafiqul Alam had to really say to the questions were posed by me a short while back. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight on The Burning Question, joining us, Radharaman Das, Vice President and Spokesperson, Salauddin Shoaib Chaudhary, Harsh Dahiya, Political Analyst, Karan Verma, Political Analyst, Saddam Hussain, Dr. Jahidul Bari, and Atikur Rahman. First, Radharaman Das, you seem to be the target of the Yunus government, Radharaman Das, because at 9:40 this evening, when I'm going to play out the interview of the chief advisor to the Yunus government, he categorically takes your name and he says that you are relying on the vice president based out of Kolkata on the issues that are happening in Bangladesh and not relying on what ISKCON has to say in Bangladesh vis-a-vis Chinmay Prabhu. When I asked him this question, that are you whitewashing the crime, he's saying that nothing of that sort has happened. In fact, ISKCON has distanced themselves from Chinmay Prabhu, so why are you going by what Mr. Radharaman Das has to say?
Hare Krishna. So the whole episode is very, very unfortunate. We know that in court, their Attorney General, he committed that they are thinking about banning ISKCON because ISKCON is a fundamental organization. Also, till now, 4 of our brahmacharis has been arrested, apart from Chinmay Krishna Prabhu. So in the court...
Can we have Radharaman Das full?
Hello?
Please go ahead, Mr. Radharaman Das.
Yeah, so in the court, the petitioner has claimed that ISKCON should be banned because Chinmay Krishna Das, who is the official of ISKCON, he is organizing all this mass protest with 4 lakh, 5 lakh people. So that's why ISKCON should be also implicated and it should be banned. So then, on response to that petition, the General Secretary of ISKCON Bangladesh, he clarified that Chinmay Das Krishna is not holding any post in ISKCON, but he is a ISKCON brahmachari. So that was clarified.
But Mr. Radharaman Das, a quick check here. The government there categorically denies that this has got to do with ISKCON. In fact, they say that we are allowing ISKCON to carry on with the religious practices. The problem is with the law and order situation that was created by Chinmay Prabhu.
So this is very shocking that what we are hearing. Yesterday also we saw that 54 ISKCON brahmacharis, when they were coming to India, so on Benapole border, they had all valid Indian visa and all that. The police there, they did not allow them to cross border. and they told that India is not safe for you, so you go back. And day before yesterday, 9 of them were also returned. So 63 devotees who had valid Indian visa, they were not allowed to cross into India. Also, apart from Chinmay Krishna Das, another 3 devotees, brahmacharis, they have been arrested. 2 of them, when they went to jail to give him medicine and food, they were arrested. And Chinmay Krishna's secretary has been also arrested. So why they are arresting these simple brahmacharis? I have posted it on my Twitter handle. You can see their faces. Do they look like terrorists? Also in Sibchar, one of our temple, everybody saw that video. A mob gathered and they demanded that if this temple is not closed within 3 hours, then we will close ourselves. Then when the police, fortunately the police arrived and they vacated the temple. The devotees were there, so they took them out. So all these things we are saying here, day before yesterday, also one of another temple of our one small center that was also vandalized. So like this, we are saying this is happening. Also, everybody has seen 10,000 people. They are going on the streets and chanting that what we will do, we will capture ISKCON devotees, we will torture them, and we will slaughter them.
I think so Saddam Hussein is not going to agree. Saddam, we have put out multiple testimonies. In fact, a short while back here on Republic TV, an Indian Hindu who was in Bangladesh brutally assaulted, marks on his face, cuts on his neck. All of that was for the entire world to witness. And he says categorically this, that I was accosted, I was asked if I was a Hindu, and I was brutally assaulted on the streets of Dhaka. How exactly are you constantly trying to whitewash the reality? Why can't you admit the fact that, yes, you're dealing through a big crisis?
Absolutely misinformation.
How is it misinformation? Saddam, what I'll do for you is this. I will show you the pictures. If my producer can just pull out the picture that we put out of Sayan Ghosh.
A picture cannot say everything. A picture cannot say everything.
It's a live interview, Saddam Hussein. I urge you.
Interview of whom?
I urge you to have some sort of an empathy here. Saddam, I understand that political considerations, but humanity is above any political consideration. You are forgetting humanity.
Mr. President, I reside in Bangladesh. So you cannot get more information than me.
How exactly do you say that?
Because I'm here in Bangladesh.
So the person who was brutally assaulted was lying?
Of course, it's the fabricated information to you.
He's lying.
The real information is the Muslim lawyer was beaten to death by the ISKCON extremist group. The real information is.
But your chief advisor. Okay, now Saddam, now this is classic. Saddam, listen to me. At 9:40 Indian time, you should listen to your own chief advisor. You say that the Muslim lawyer was killed by, yes, according to you, ISKCON extremists. The chief advisor, yes, said that nothing of that sort happened. In fact, he said that there was a fake news.
How can you say nothing of that sort happened?
I'm not saying it. Your chief advisor has said. Your chief advisor to Muhammad Yunus has said. I'm not saying this.
Has he said so?
Please watch it at 9:40 this evening. 9:40 this evening, the interview will play out, Mr. Saddam Hussein. Hence, proven. The problem is this, Saddam Hussein. You listen it to yourself. You listen yourself, and then you will come to your own conclusion. I don't understand. According to him, Radharaman Das is also a liar. Someone, a revered monk like Radharaman Das, who is the vice president of ISKCON.
Radharaman Das is residing in India, and he is getting information from a third party. So his information can
everyone's information. I don't know. What is your information, Saddam? That there is a bed of roses. There are bed of roses for the minorities in Bangladesh currently.
Of course, the minorities. Okay.
So they are basically walking.
Living in Bangladesh.
So the minorities in Bangladesh currently in Dhaka, they are walking on the streets having a scoop of ice cream, perhaps.
It is your information which is totally a lie. Rather, the minorities in Bangladesh are far better than that of India. take some example from me.
What example?
The USCIR, the US Commission on International Religious Freedom, said that
the same United States of America, the current administration under Donald Trump says that it's a cause of concern.
Let me give you some example of the persecution of religious minorities in India, and compare that with Bangladesh.
I'm not here for a comparison, but I'm very.
So the subject, but because you from India are saying so. You from India.
I am asking you, can you, for you, every fact that I'm putting out, I think so I'll just put out the picture and the interview for you. You see it yourself. For you, everything is a figment of our imagination, but it is not. The reality, I understand it's actually quite disconcerting that you have to actually.
I must say so because every information you are providing through your channel is fabricated.
How is it fabricated?
1% truth and 99% false.
Salahuddin is joining us also. Saddam, everyone is lying. You say that my information is incorrect. The testimonies that I'm getting, I don't understand. Probably, are you suggesting that we are basically hiring actors and coming and making these statements? Are you suggesting that now?
Of course, I will.
Great.
Not you. I will.
Saddam, I don't know in which world are you living in.
I will suggest international.
No, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, Saddam, that this is the level that you will stoop.
Observe the real scenarios.
No, I don't understand. Every testimony according to you is false. Salahuddin is also from Dhaka. Salahuddin, according to Mr. Saddam Hussein, the testimony that I did broadcast a short while back is completely fictitious. Probably I have hired some actors. I think I have better work to do, Mr. Saddam Hussein, than what you are doing right now. And at least I will have the courage, if I make a mistake, and especially here in India, if we make a mistake, we have the courage to stand up. We have the courage. Listen to me. There is no reason why you need to be so hyper. If you have facts by your side, then you need not be so very.
Continuous misinformation.
Hear me out. I don't see why would you, Mr. Hussein. I don't understand why do you need to be so very jittery at this point in time. I understand you are feeling uncomfortable. It's understandable, and I completely empathize with your situation. It's not easy because you have to defend. You have to defend against humanity. So I understand your position. Calm down, relax. Salahuddin is also going to join us right now. Salahuddin is also from Dhaka. Ladies and gentlemen, two people from Dhaka currently, Saddam Hussein and Salahuddin. According to Mr. Hussein, because we are here in the national capital, we are in India, we are perhaps putting out news as per our figments of imagination. Now listen to Mr. Salahuddin also.
Thank you very much. Actually, what I should say, that these people who are speaking in favor of Muhammad Yunus, they're very nervous, because their days are numbered to January 20th. They were very much confident Kamala Harris will come, and Trump is coming, and they will put a sanction on all of them. Their days are numbered, and that's why they are now on the practice of culture of denial, stupidly talking like stupid people. They are talking like stupid idiots, and they only appreciate the things they want to hear.
Mr. Salahuddin, I'll just request you to refrain from making any personal attacks here. I would like to stick to facts.
No, I have to, because
I'll urge you not to do that, Mr. Salahuddin, because let's keep it extremely civil. Because I believe when you're debating with facts, I believe when you're debating with facts, you need not basically become what Mr. Hussein has become right now.
Saddam Hussein is actually tarnishing the image of Bangladesh. We are a tolerant country. We are a country which has been having the culture of harmony, religious harmony, and we have no reason to say on record that everything is false, everything is untrue. Now, I'm coming to a very strong point that the case Mr. Chinmay Krishna Maharaj is languishing in jail. They say that he disrespected a flag of Bangladesh by placing a Sanatan flag over it. But on record, I have already tweeted that video. That flag, they question and they claim to be Bangladeshi flag. That flag bears 4 crescent and star at the four corners. So the case itself is fake. And the case was not filed by government. It was filed by a leader of Bangladesh Nationalist Party, who was later expelled from the party because Bangladesh Nationalist Party also did not endorse or accept this kind of cases. When the person is expelled, an individual, and sedition case actually to arrest someone for on sedition, you need the government's approval. So it means when Chinmay Krishna is arrested, it means the state has given approval to this sedition case.
Right.
Now, what is the basic evidence? The basis of that case is the flag. And did anyone look into that video?
The question here, Salahuddin, Mr. Salahuddin, I don't think so. It is about the evidence that they are really concerned, because this is a question I've asked Mr. Shafiqul Alam, and I think so in a short while from now, for all of you who are joining in right now, you'll be able to witness that when I'm persistently asking about the evidence against Chinmay Prabhu, there was no response. Dr. Jahidul Bari, if I can also bring you in right now. Dr. Jahidul, I'm hoping that unlike Mr. Saddam Hussein, you will perhaps bring in the element of humanity. At the end of the day, it's not only about religious identities, it is about innocent lives being lost in Bangladesh. And I'm just quoting a number which is not a number by any Indian media. It is an organization based out of Bangladesh who has written a letter to the Muhammad Yunus government stating that 230 attacks have taken place since 5th of August, and the fact that these are attacks that have taken place in 52 districts across Bangladesh. It's a number that has been put out, vetted very well. In fact, several governments are now quoting it. Dr. Jahidul Bari, the reality is this, that attacks have taken place. Why is it difficult for you all to admit the fact that you all have gone wrong this time?
No, attacks could be happened, but you have to admit the proofs that how many attacks happened on the Hindus or on the other minority people.
235.
235 on the Hindus? No.
Minorities.
Minorities. Did you get from the Indian media, the news?
Can I just tell you how? Can I just tell you? Will you follow the steps?
Let's
do it. Let's do it on national television. Dr. Jahidul Bari, I'll request you to do something. Okay. You can simply take out your mobile phone right now. Very simple steps. Take out, there is a browser. If you use Google, if you use any other, please take that, type it. An organization that operates out of your country has written a letter which is part of the Unity Council. They have documented the evidence of attacks against minorities. I'm not just talking for the Hindus. Let me also tell you that the attempt is to highlight the situation of all minorities in Bangladesh. Please Google it yourself. See it for yourself. Not a single, it is not about Indian media. It is not about Indian media. Here, if you're asking me, then kindly watch the shows that I have done where I've brought in testimonies. People from different parts of Bangladesh who have come on record to say what they have gone through, starting from the time that during Durga Puja when they were attacked. So, Dr. Jahidul Bari, if you're really asking me this question, all that you need to do is Google it.
During Durga Puja, nobody were attacked.
So will you have the courage to, why don't you asked me this question, where did I get the data from, why don't you do it? Dr. Jahidul Bari, you asked me this question, why don't you do it for yourself? Check for yourself. Is the Unity Council not part of Dhaka? It is not part of Bangladesh?
Unity Council is not part of Bangladesh. They can say many things from outside, but we are living in Bangladesh.
You are living in denial.
Deep in Bangladesh.
You are living in denial.
Harsh Daya is also now coming. Now, Harsh, you have seen yourself. Harsh, you have seen right now what is essentially happening. I don't understand what is.
This is shameful, Shaban. This is shameful.
I'll tell you, Harsh, I'll tell you one thing. For all who have been watching my shows, every day my entire team of the 7 o'clock team has been trying to put out real stories. In fact, a short while back, a Hindu, an Indian Hindu who was in Dhaka, I'll put out the pictures for you right now. Look at those very pictures. According to Saddam Hussein, according to Jahidul Bari, Sayan Ghosh's pictures, please. Sayan Ghosh
This
was
picture,
live.
what does this picture say?
Not this.
Picture,
I'm putting it out. I'm putting it out. I'm putting it out for you.
They clear
Take a look
evidence.
at this.
We need
Take a look at
evidence.
this.
This
No
picture
clear
says
evidence.
nothing to you because you have no humanity left in you. You have become so fundamentalist that you have no humanity left in you.
Is the country
Jahidul Bari
of
and
religion.
Harsh Daya on the frame, please.
Rather,
Shavan, let me show
India-
you something.
Go ahead.
Shavan, when we
Thousands
say
of
batenge to
riots
katenge, this is what we mean.
Even if-
This is what happens
But in
when
Bangladesh,
Hindus do not say
religious
united.
we have been
This is what happens.
maintaining
This
for
is the
2000
prime
years.
example of batenge to katenge. Shavan, I'm showing you a map.
No.
In 2022, I went to London. I visited Churchill War Museum, which is called Churchill War Rooms. This was the map of India over there.
Let's show this.
Do you see? Do you see the map? In 1947, a mistake was made by Britishers. Two anomalies were created by the name of Bangladesh and Pakistan. They drew imaginary red cliff lines over India. They divided us into three nations. These are temporary anomalies that should go. We should return to Akhand Bharat. This is what we say. This is what we mean when we say batenge to katenge. Shavan, you have seen that. The whole nation has seen that. We are attacked left, right and center by anti-nationalist forces when we use this slogan. But this is the prime example. What is happening to minorities in Bangladesh? What is happening to minorities in Pakistan? What has happened to Hindu Kashmiris? Kashmiri Pandits in Kashmir. This is the prime example of batenge to katenge. We must stay united. Hinduism must become a political force just like Islam.
Karan
We should
Verma-
learn from them.
Karan
Hindu
Verma and
people,
Atikur Rahman.
They are working as government employee in Bangladesh. So this is the real scenario of the Hindu and other minority people.
I don't
in
understand
Bangladesh.
one thing,
How-
Dr. Jahidul
how
Bari. You know, its question is
facilities
not
they are
about
getting.
Hindu. The question is not about. I'm once again trying to tell you this much. I'm telling this to Saddam Hussein. I'm telling this to Dr. Jahidul Bari. Please do understand. It is extremely unfair on your part to perhaps always to dismiss the reality. I understand it's not. Perhaps no one can really defend a situation like this, and you have been put against a very tough task to defend the current situation. So I understand your position. Karan Verma.
This is not tough. I want to.
Can I make a
endorse
point?
that.
Yeah.
Please go ahead, make a point, and then I'll
The
bring in Karan Verma.
attacks
also.
Shravan, you have to cut him off. This can't go on like this. I mean, I'm waiting for my turn.
Karan,
You can't
just-
allow
just
this
a minute.
guy to ramble on
I'm
incoherently
not
forever.
asking him, Karan, you need to understand its question is not about rambling. The question is about
No, you
getting the
have to
perspective
moderate
here.
this. Nah. Just
Thank you,
because we are
Karan.
civilly waiting
Karan,
for
you don't,
25
Karan, you
minutes
don't need to
doesn't
tell me
mean
what I need to
keep
do.
getting run over.
Karan, please don't tell me how to moderate a discussion.
No, I do need to tell you. You've called out my name. Let me at least speak what I have to speak, right?
Allowing,
He can't
certainly.
be butting in constantly, right? Can I make a point?
Please go ahead.
Yeah. So, by the way, just for Mr. Saddam's knowledge, I'm reading out a quote. Stop attacks against Hindus, other minorities, or I will resign. You know who said this? This was said by Muhammad Yunus himself on 9th August 2024. Just so you know. You know, for all your pontifications, whether this is happening or not, your Muhammad Yunus has gone on record admitting that this is happening. This genocide is happening right before our eyes. Hifazat-e-Islam has gone on record, said that ISKCON is apparently a militant organization as per them, which needs to be exterminated. This is his affidavit on record saying.
Does
So, you know, Shravan, it's
this
very clear.
peace allow
We
that
don't need
genocide is
validation.
happening? Do you
We
know
don't
what
need
is genocide?
Just a minute.
What's the definition
Just
of
a minute, Saddam.
genocide?
Saddam, don't misbehave on this show. Don't misbehave. Hear me out. I heard you out patiently.
Showing misbehavior.
Just listen to me. We don't need validation from you. If you are in denial of this,
I
the
also
only
need
thing you
no
are in
validation
denial of
from
is
you.
your stupidity
I also
and
need
your
no validation
intellectual
from
and
India.
ethical bankruptcy. You are teetering on bankruptcy in terms of unpaid dues right now of $850 million.
You just treat
Your power
yourself,
sector.
guy.
Bother
You
about
just
that
well your own
before we
nation.
cut off your
How
electricity.
many dollars do you
Before we
gain?
cut off your
You just
electricity.
go.
All right?
You just
Do not
think about
test
your
our
economy.
patience.
We are
You know,
going well.
If you test our patience with
Okay,
this,
Atikur Rahman also wants to
you
comment.
have some
We are
serious
telling
stuff
you
to
about
pay.
the-
Calm
Go and
down, calm
explain
down.
this
One
to your
second.
Muhammad Yunus.
Karan,
If he's hard of hearing,
Karan,
go and explain
Karan
it to him.
and
That
Saddam
money
Hussein,
you are,
Saddam,
with that money you are eating.
one minute, hold
We are
on,
feeding
hold
your
on.
people.
One second,
We are paying you for
Saddam
that.
and Dr. Jahidul.
Don't make
Dr.
a fool of
Jayadul, hold
yourself.
on.
Don't make
Karan.
a fool of yourself.
Karan, calm down here. Calm down here. Atikur Rahman is also... Atikur, let me also bring in one minute, gentlemen. Hold on. Can I just bring in... Can I... Saddam Hussein, calm down.
Don't threaten us.
1 minute, hold on.
I will say don't...
There is no reason... There is no reason why...
He doesn't know the facts.
Karan, hold on, please. Atikur Rahman, you've heard the entire debate. You've heard both sides. The concern here, Atikur Rahman, is this. Today, internally also here in India, there was this parallel discussion that happened with political leaders saying that, look here, minorities, you know, while the situation is happening here in Bangladesh, you've heard what Mamata Banerjee had to say yesterday. This only weakens the position, Atikur Rahman, if this is the kind of double standard we play. And the fact of the matter is that we are up against people like Saddam Hussein and Dr. Jahidul Bari who are refusing to admit that such a thing is happening. And I'm sure, Atikur Rahman, in your right sense, and someone like you will not deny the fact that this is a reality in Bangladesh, because this cannot be a figment of imagination when there have been multiple reports suggesting the kind of attacks that have taken place on minorities.
Shravan, thank you. Shravan, I do not understand why are we beating around the bush. The realities are before the media. The pictures tell many stories. And I want to know from the people who are denying that there are attacks on minorities in Bangladesh, that which government and which society has ever accepted that their minorities are under attack. Let us be very clear about two things. The people from, my friends from Bangladesh are sitting here, that as earlier somebody said, that Bangladesh and Pakistan were created by the British on the lines of religion. Within 25 years, they got separated on linguistic grounds. And there was mass-scale discrimination against the Bangla people. Now, the same Bangla people, can they really afford their own society to go in a very hardline religiosity and convert themselves into a society of people who are radicals? They cannot afford it.
But they are currently doing that.
Will gain ground.
But currently that's exactly what, when you have the Attorney General of Bangladesh calling ISKCON a fundamentalist organization, you can understand where it stands today.
If these counter-claims and claims will go on, Shravan, we need to face the reality. Now the entire gamut of the problems to the Indian side is what exactly the government of India wants, how to safeguard the minorities in Bangladesh. Let them say that they are not under attack or they are safe over here. We need to tell them clearly, in very clear terms, that India will not tolerate. Because economically, Shravan, Bangladesh is dependent on India. India does not.
Never.
Anywhere.
Dr. Jahidul wants to respond. Dr. Jahidul and then Karan. Dr. Jahidul and Karan, I'll come to you, Harsh, after that. Dr. Jahidul.
Yes. We don't admit that the Bangladeshi economy is dependent on India. Never. Bangladesh is an independent country. Bangladesh is a sovereign country.
Karan perhaps has a response to that.
Economy is far better than India.
What happens if we actually plug in?
The second largest garment
Dr. Jahidul, I think so.
Of the world.
You're not well informed.
Even after China.
So can I make a point?
Dr. Jahidul, then you're not well informed about as far as if we at all have to pull our strings. If we at all have to pull our strings, it would not be really.
India
it would not really be good for you. Karan wants to respond.
Can I make a point, Shravan?
Karan wants to respond. Dr. Jahidul.
So just so
you
he
made your
knows,
point. Now let him respond.
Can you please keep? So just so he knows, I think he's grossly unaware of the situation. $850 million unpaid dues right now by Bangladesh Electricity Board to Adani, a company here in India, which by the way has cut down its supply by 40% to you because of your unpaid dues. It can further pull the plug off and leave you in darkness. You have darkness of knowledge, we all are aware of that, but your country will be doomed in darkness if you don't get your act right. So that is number one. That is number one. Secondly, do you know that we are your biggest market in terms of completed?
And Hasina
this can't happen. Shravan, I want to make a point. I mean,
you make your point.
No
one is stopping you from making your point. Please make your point.
Right now, Dr. Yunus is...
Dr. Jahidul, why don't you listen to him and then you get a chance to respond?
Bangladesh is getting...
Dr. Bari, please understand.
So just so Mr. Jahiluddin knows, he should know that we are your biggest supplier of raw material for textiles, and we are also your biggest market for the finished products amongst the top 3 markets. So if we pull the plug off, you will be left with no electricity, you will be left with no money to create this sort of lumpen atmosphere that you are creating on the streets for the minorities. So get your house in order. You don't have a penny in your pocket. If you pull the strings, do not force us to go down that.
Saddam wants to respond. Saddam wants to respond.
Get this out and clear. Etch it on your head. Tell this you.
Okay, Saddam wants to respond. Then Harsh, final word, Harsh and Salahuddin.
The Indian business will be bankrupted.
Okay, Saddam, Dr. Jahidul, allow your friend Saddam Hussein to respond. Saddam Hussein.
About the dues to Adani, as he exemplifies falsely that they are the largest raw material supplier to us. This is a total false information. We imported most from China and then from India.
And it is a falsehood that you are Saddam Hussein. And it is a falsehood that you are Saddam Hussein. You know nothing.
No, you know nothing.
Jahiluddin naam ko inhone seriously le liya. They have taken this name seriously. He knows nothing.
Okay, Saddam, hold on. You said you are importing from China. Now I'll give you the numbers. Harsh wants to come in.
Okay. Send him to school. Isko school bhejo pehle.
First of all, it is no matter of. It is not a matter of.
He doesn't know ABC, and he's coming here and speaking.
You are misleading the audience.
What a fool he is.
Clarify. You are misleading the audience. Let me clarify.
What a foolish person you got. He doesn't know.
Okay, calm down. Harsh wants to respond. It's not about pride. The fact is the numbers are also
that
wrong.
Is your identity today.
Hold up, Saddam. Saddam, calm down. There's no point in
Saddam,
hear you.
Wait for 2-3 months.
Government
Trump is coming, you are going. Wait, Saddam, calm down, brother. Trump administration is coming. Your George Soros implanted government will be out of power very soon. Don't worry.
Okay, gentlemen, I'm really running short of time now. Okay. Gentlemen, I'm really running short of time. You know, just make a quick point. Make a point. Saddam and Dr. Jahidul, calm down, please. Hold on.
What is played out in this international relations game is that Bangladesh under Sheikh Hasina was on a trajectory of growth, and United States is unable to digest the deep state in United States. It's unable to digest the George Soros agents are unable to digest the growth story of
the story comes to an end. Story comes to an end very soon. In fact, gentlemen, I'm sorry, I'm cutting you guys short. I'm sorry, I'm cutting all of you short. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, for the first time since Sheikh Hasina was ousted, Mohammad Yunus's chief advisor has spoken for the first time. And what's even more shocking here is this, that they still live in denial. They say that these are attacks which are not religious in nature. These are political attacks. Listen to what the chief advisor to Mohammad Yunus's government has to say.